Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Crespect talk on LegalTech in Poland. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I'm Karolina, Crespect co-founder, and I'm thrilled to have two outstanding experts with us today to break down on what's happening in Poland. You know, what are the trends, what are the news, what are the latest events that we should know. And first, we have Regina Barchan, ELTA's ambassador in Poland and also director of Legal Innovations NGO. Hi, Regina.
Hi, everyone. Nice to share with you this time. I hope it will be enjoyable for everyone.
Of course it will. And joining her, we have Zbyszek Konieczny, an IT and legal tech solutions consultant. And I tried my best with the name, but I haven't rehearsed your surname. I'm sorry, Zbyszek.
It sounded very well. Hello, everyone.
So before we dive in, let's first of all make this an interactive session. So if you're joining us live, drop a quick hi in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, maybe from Krakow, from Warsaw, from Poznan, or from Tallinn, or from anywhere else in Europe. And feel free to ask questions anytime. We'll do our best getting to them in the chat. But let's start, and let's start with the big picture. Regina, let's start from you. What do you think, what are the most significant legal tech trends that you're seeing in Poland, and maybe especially in Polish law firms right now? What's freshest, latest?
I would say that the first trend will be very predictable, and something that even make me smile is, of course, the growing role of artificial intelligence. We have a lot of report about how lawyers use it, but we need to, in fact, declaim one thing, that there are lawyers who work in bar, in bar area, and also lawyers who work in in-house lawyer. And of course, the decrease of using such technology very different. And of course, for example, different reports say that from 30 to 38% of in-house lawyer use on weekday basis this tools. Let's say it could be clouds, it can be ChatGPT, also Gemini and others. But of course, only 11% of advocates use it, and it's also one of the let's say sad trends that unfortunately advocates doesn't feel safety in this area, and that's why they ignore such trends, not only in fact exactly intelligent artificial. And of course lawyers use it mostly to rewriting to database, or let's say navigate database knowledge. And the last one, the most interesting, is to promote themselves. So it's also interesting trend that social media become more open for lawyers because of ChatGPT and other cool stuff. Also, the next trend is digital tools for documents management. It's something very predictable again, because in fact 99% of work lawyers it's documents. So in most cases it's let's say a management system for cases, also for documents, and there are some percentage, let's say it's different according to the different reports, but from 20 to 40% of lawyers use CRM systems that also include data management. But it's simple one. Let's say we make some clause or a simple description about it. And also for me, let's say surprised and not at the same time such trend, it's using electronic signature, because in fact it's something normal after COVID, but unfortunately when you face to the lawyers and start to speak even about such stuff, not even ever not everyone even assessed it as a normal signature. It's something like additional or cool or for my online clients. So it's the trend that, for example, shows such interesting ideas that we accept the trend, but we are not sure that it's exactly something that we need. And of course, it decreasing the last trend. It's decreasing of using demand solution, LegalTech solution, I mean legacy navigators like Lex, Legacy, but again, it's more about lawyers who have broad practice, so they in fact need such, and also lawyers who use constantly EU law, because of course it's very broad, and that's why we need to somehow navigate it. But all reports would say to you that, in fact, all these trends, it's more related to in-house lawyers. There are, I think, Zbyszek will tell more about it, but there are two, like the main keys why it's look like this. First of all, firms have more, let's say, budgets for IT technologies, and all of, let's say, when you have in-house department, so you develop enough to have IT department. So we also create and use such stuff because you already digitalize. And when we talk about, let's say, lawyer who have practice from his scratch, it means that you need to buy a lot of stuff. We will talk about it later, what the, let's say, risks we see here, like lawyers, and what the main problem we faced. But in fact, there are two different huge situation in, let's say, advocates sphere and in-house. So we need to also understand it.
Yeah. I find it surprising that e-signature is considered an innovation. You know, Crespect is coming from Estonia. I'm based in Lithuania. It's like e-signature. It's like so natural, you know. I like it's smart ideas. That's my signature, you know. I use it daily. So considering it as an innovation, but you know, if it's a trend and everyone's still adjusting and using it, then it's great. Zbyszek, would you like to maybe like add up? Regina gave us like larger, great overview, bigger context, but from your experience, and maybe you're consulting more law firms. So where are they investing mostly? What are they upgrading nowadays?
Yes. So first of all, law firms began investing more in technology because for the past few years they were taking something which I call a wait and see approach. Some thought that technology AI is another hype, and they can wait and see what happens. That's not true. If law firms are not investing in technology, they are getting behind their competition and they are losing their market and the clients. So what mostly law firms and legal departments, and Regina, yes, you are right. There is a difference between ideas and spending within law firms themselves and legal departments. So mostly they all have Microsoft 365, which is the basis, like the groundwork. And I would say that the next part where they are reaching out and investing is a PMS, practice management system. I love acronyms, by the way. And then DMS, but PMS is the most one because what is a PMS? I mean, for those who don't know, most I assume do know. It's a practice management system. It's a software suite that has several basic modules, like a time entry module where attorneys enter their daily time. It looks like a calendar. You can use it on your laptop or on your mobile phone or on your tablet, and you enter your time, and a law firm or legal department uses those entries to bill clients. It's like the lifeblood of any law firm.
Hygiene, a
Yes,
must.
yes, exactly. Then PMS usually has a small CRM module, small or big, depending. It has contacts. It has a module to issue automatic or semi-automatic invoices, and possibly a place to a simple module to store documents, not a DMS, but let's say a mini DMS. So such having such a PMS, having implemented such a PMS, is a big step forward from using paper. And let's confess, we like going to forests. We don't want to cut too many trees, so let's not use paper anymore. So law firms are doing that. They are investing money in PMS systems, and there are lots and lots of them, small, medium, big ones. Crespect is a great example. Another
You're not
one,
being paid for this advertisement.
no money involved. Sorry. Another area and like another logical step once you implemented the PMS is to implement a DMS, which is a document management system, which actually now is a document and email management system. It's a system which organizes all your office or your law firm or legal department documents and emails because attorneys they give legal counsel in emails, so it's just as important. So just like with PMS systems, there are big players and there are medium and small players. Of course, they vary in price. I believe it's very important to have such systems, and many law firms of all sizes have decided to implement them the past year and already also this year. And it's a great idea. It's usually a slightly bigger expense because it doesn't take 2 or 3 days to implement. It takes more like few weeks. You have to think about setup, about your procedures, and also about something which is called document import. Because maybe your law firm has been on the market for 10 years and you have 300,000 documents, possibly on a network drive or in any location, SharePoint. Oh, by the way, SharePoint is not a DMS. SharePoint, not a DMS for lawyers. It's a great tool, but it's not a DMS. So then you have to migrate those documents. So such implementation is a bigger one and takes more time. So I would say those two are the main ones that I have seen in the past months where law firms try to implement and spend their money. And of course, I have to add, repeating what Regina said earlier, is AI. Yes, all lawyers play with AI, be ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, or all the other flavors. Some are very careful, and they may be right in being careful in not feeding ChatGPT with sensitive client information. It's very important to state that to lawyers. Some forget. And then there is the rest who are very enthusiastic and using them daily. So
Zbyszek, sorry to interrupt. You mentioned DMS. Do you encounter in your daily work law firms still using servers and storing their data on premise?
Yes, I will not name any names, but yes, unfortunately, yes, there are less and less. But yes, there are law firms who think that using shared drives, network drives, or whatever you want to call them, very inexpensive ways is a way to go. It is a very bad idea because yes, you can create manual folders with client names, practice, etc., etc. I think this is a song of the 90s. When I started, that was the DMS of the 90s when floppy disks were finished. It's not a good idea. Some may claim, yeah, it's very cheap.
It's safer, I heard some say.
That's very funny. It's not safe at all. So yes, some people believe this could be a DMS, just like we believe DMS floppy drive was a diskette. Was a DMS in the 90s. No, it's not a good idea. And yes, some law firms, rather smaller ones, are still doing that. So I'm a great advocate of telling them and encouraging them to upgrade to a real DMS, which will be safe, secure, which will help you collaborate with opposite counsel, share documents, and just do it the right way.
I think we're all here on Team Cloud, right?
Yeah,
of course.
But I must say that cloud, it's not always the same that you think, because, for example, at once he was consulting one law firm without any names, and that also told me that they have DMS, and I even asked because I was surprised. It doesn't look like they have something, and they even told that it's online, so I was even more surprised. And they sent me a link, and you would never got what it was. It was Excel with sheets where they have links for each document that they have with all description, etc. And they have secretary who on daily basis, let's say, was feeding and creating this DMS system as they told. So, in fact, yes, unfortunately, budgets in imagination sometimes create the awful dinosaurs, but we are where we are.
Gosh, and that's,
Shocking.
it's at the same time when we have AI buzzwords, we have this AI literacy, a duty now. Everyone is like, okay, we need AI policies, like AI. But on the other hand, the fundamentals, the document management system, the practice management system, sometimes it's an Excel spreadsheet, right? So let's face it, there are some drawbacks. There are some law firms operate like teams that are lagging behind. And well, they're implementing new things, right? They're trying to upgrade their systems. So maybe you could distinguish and share like what what works when you're trying to switch, when you're trying to upgrade. Maybe there are some like maybe secret sauce or recommendations how you would where to start and how to start. What works when you're upgrading?
If I can start,
Yeah,
because
please.
in fact it's area of my life, because let's say one of my specific activities is legal engineering, exactly the same idea. So the first thing that I always start, that you need to map your processes, because it doesn't matter what exactly you want to automatize or digitalize or even change. You need to have the clear map what the people, products and other interests include in this in this job, let's say. Yes, so in fact it's a very cool idea, and even if you want to invest in any technology, you need to step back and even draw on your paper, let's say, the map of your processes, who will be involved, what the ideas, what the goal of this DMS system, even your signature system, because all of them not the same and all of them not fit exactly you. It's the same like with pills. Yes, if let's say I have illness and then another person have illness, it doesn't mean that we need to to the same pill. So it's the same with technologies, in fact. And I think that the main problem of lawyers, that they have no knowledge how to operate this technology at all. So we never was introducing this area of even life. Yes, because we spoke about legacy, for example, codex and etc. But for example, how to even manage our practice, we need to find out how somehow by ourselves. Or let's say you go to law firm and they told you how to be 90s because they started in 90s. So in fact, it's the main problem. And the second one, unfortunately for legal tech market and entrepreneurs, I have very bad news. Lawyers need to be taught by you. So if you create even any tool for lawyers, it must be so simple as for child, because again, it's people who work with words, not technologies. So it's in fact the main problem when you try to even explain lawyers how to use it. And it's also about lawyers that it's the time to start study how to use technology, how to make your life easier. Because in Lingo Academy, it's always the same. In the beginning of study, all lawyers tell that I'm so proud of myself. No one can replace me. Every word that I put in my documents is so perfect and individual that no one can automatize my work. And in the end, they shocked that 80% of their work it's monkey job, and in fact they can automatize. It's with no code even. So it's exactly the idea that first mapping, the second studying, and the third one, of course, describing your real needs. Because cool, fancy CRM system, DMS system, it's cool, but it doesn't mean that it can work for you. Even I would say awful thing, but even this Airtable can be the best idea for you, like DMS, if you would find out how to use all automation, for example, than even Crisp. Or no, because for example, Crisp will cover all your demands and it will be faster for you driving in. So exactly, for me, it's the first steps, the crucial one, the hardest one, but the most important.
To map it out. And mapping, most probably it doesn't have to be like a month project. Sometimes it's like post-its on the wall or a whiteboard in the office. That's enough. You just need to list some questions. What do you want to achieve? What are your needs? Who's involved, right? It's like a short ChatGPT can help you with the process mapping as well.
Yes, from my perspective and experience, 3 days you can create great map. The only one thing that you need to involve all people who must be involved. It's the only one thing.
Zbyszek, do you see other tips or maybe barriers? What's stopping or what's helping law firms, lawyers to like innovate?
Yes. So two things cross my mind immediately, and one is one shoe size fits all. No. So this rule, this saying does not apply here, because every law firm and law firm department is different. And everybody can say, oh, there is this new software, be it, I will not name any names. It's great, everybody should have it. Just like there are articles, oh, this vegetable, this fruit is healthy, everybody should eat it. Not true. It depends on your health, on your age, and on many other factors. So every shoe, every new application, every new process should be tailored, should be fitting to the law firm by its size, by its practices, or whether it's a legal department. That's very important. Then, together with this, when you want to introduce a new technology, you need to make sure everybody's on board. That's a very famous American saying. You may choose a great software that's famous, inexpensive, and works well. If you will have two partners and three attorneys who will speak against it, it will be a failure, even if it's great 100%. So that's that. Uh, Another thing that comes to my mind, on top of what Regina said, is I like the idea of a trusted advisor. If you're a law firm and you do not have an IT department with an IT manager who could be in that role, try to find a trusted advisor who will lead you by the hand and suggest software choices, the ways to implement, how to avoid pitfalls, etc., etc. So those two maybe will be helpful for people who are listening.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I noticed from the industry and from like European customers of Crespect, that many law firms are driven by FOMO, fear of missing out, right? And then they start piloting and testing various even big names, or like different tools from document automation, e-discovery, AI, there's Leia, who just changed their name to what, Legora today, or a few days ago, or Harvey and so on, and they're even like waitlisting and listing and waiting for something big. And when you ask, so what are your expectations? What do you want to achieve with this tool? Well, we saw that others are piloting. We also want to, we cannot miss out. So sometimes it's more like a PR stunt rather than an actual need to um, elevate the processes. So what do you actually need? What will help you, right? What do you want to achieve? And there are like people who can help you. And to everyone watching, if you're working in a law firm or you're a solo practitioner or an in-house team, share what are your biggest challenges when adopting new technology? What's stopping you from testing, from trying new stuff? So share your thoughts. Guys, you're from Poland. Allow me to address one elephant from the Polish legal tech scene. What is happening with this new public e-delivery system? I've heard several rumors. I saw some LinkedIn posts already, some even memes, complaints how slow and full of bugs it is. Is that just like a one system that fails, or would you say it could potentially reflect the atmosphere, where initiative to innovate is there, but prioritization and execution is not there yet? Is it a trend or is it just one mishap? What do you say?
Um, uh, I I wouldn't say it's a big trend, but yes, e-delivery, which happened so suddenly, and I got asked by several of my clients and prospects to help with that. It wasn't developed well. First of all, maybe I should trace back. Poland is not as electronically and digitally developed as Estonia, which is a example which did many such things first, and it's a shining example even in the world, not only here in our part of the world. But
Estonia. It's Estonia, Estonia.
Estonia. Yeah, exactly. But so yes, it has been rather a failure where the system is not working well. But what also happened is that larger law firms found themselves in a situation looking for a software suite to manage e-deliveries. Because imagine there is a big Polish law firm, it has 200 lawyers. And suddenly they do not get paper, which can be handled easily. They get it to special electronic mailboxes which only they can access. So several of my clients panicked and they said, look, we need to have a management software that will handle it. What if attorney X goes on a 3 or 4 weeks vacation and we miss a deadline and we lose a client, we lose a lot of money. So suddenly it turned out that there is no ready software in Poland to manage that. It's being, I'm involved in several such, so it's being developed. So hopefully it will start working. I wouldn't say it's a trend that everything works so bad here, but yes, we are light years behind Estonia.
I must say that all such stuff, it's always the beginning of something. We cannot say that, let's say, this electronic system will also influence on market. And for example, even some lawyers start to use management system because now it's impossible to only have it in notebooks. Yes, so it's in fact you would need something electronic that would fit all this stuff. And of course, there are no country, I think, without any problem in IT sphere because we will be honest, even such big companies like Google, Microsoft, and etc. have some bugs. It's something normal, and everyone understand it. Of course, maybe it was too fast. In fact, it was like it first too slow when it was development, and now it's pushing because it's the time. And of course, it's also become a let's say some risk, yes, for lawyers, because again we know that electronic systems not doesn't work so good, so even letter can be lost, let's say, yes. And in such case the question of attorneys that ask me also what I must to do in such case, how to clarify or how to prove that I didn't get it, for example, or it didn't even or it's, for example, sending to someone or something like this. And so it's also the question that's still in the air, and it's a risk for lawyers to, let's say, still have a practice. But let's say we have also old technologies that also can be hacked, for example. Yes, Zbyszek, I think you also know about Bar Association data leak story. So now lawyers even cannot be trusted by Bar Association, yes, because someone hacked and get their passwords and etc. Of course, hopefully not from nowadays, as I remember, it's from 2011, but still it's data that's very sensitive. And it's exactly, I think, the main problem with lawyers, that we work with very sensitive data, and all such technologies, it's new leaks holes that you need to keep eye. And again, lawyers are not technically prepared for it, so they also feel this fear. And I hope audience will or disagree with me, that will make me happy, or agree. In such case, please let us know the main risks that you probably feel. But again, it's not about technology. AI in the beginning also was just yes, no system, in fact. And now we have ChatGPT that creates images from scratch and zero. So it's something normal. And I think that Poland just started its path a bit later than other. So it will be a moment when we also will say that we are not silicon, but still golden.
But it's a trend, and it's a good wave that we're all riding nowadays. And a few years ago, it was tech savvy. Like, lawyers are not tech savvy enough. They should be more tech savvy. And now all of a sudden, everyone's talking about AI literate. it's not enough to be tech savvy anymore. You need to be AI literate. So if you could vote from 1 to 10, how would you score AI literacy in Polish law firms today? What's your gut feeling from 1 to 10? Regina, what about you?
Okay, I'm in the middle because reports say that even 7, but I would say that it's something interesting for me because again there are some law firms that even create their own AI system and they grain it, but there are still some who ask, let me say, not so good questions and get exactly the same answers. So let's say 4, but just because. I would say that this for not for all lawyers, but for lawyers who use it. Let's say in this way.
Let's be positive. Zbyszek, why just 3? Why only 3? There's room for
only 3
there's potential,
because,
right?
yeah, because how can we get to AI if they use a shared drive for their document management, if they use paper for their practice management, AI is like after. I mean, you can jump ahead, but yes, so many lawyers are very enthusiastic and are using ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or other flavors. And and some are becoming very good, including those two that I do know. Some choose not to touch it at all, saying it's another hype, it will pass away, like Bitcoin or whatever. Bitcoin did not pass away, by the way. It's getting more expensive. But a word of advice from me, do you have to try anything new, including ChatGPT or Gemini? No. Is it a good idea to try it? Yes. Why? Just because everybody's talking about it. And, do you wish to know what everybody's talking about it? Do you wish to have an opinion? Try it. You don't have to use it every day. Give it a try. It's free. The basic version is free of each flavor. And then you'll know what people are talking about and you'll be able to have your own opinion, not just reading other people's opinion. And then if you see any good in this, you might wish to implement it partially, perhaps with other systems, because what's going on is that ChatGPT is monetizing everything that you input there, and it's not safe. But software producers signing an agreement, for instance, with Microsoft OpenAI, and they buy a large language model (LLM) to use it. And those models have something which is called an exemption clause, meaning that the data that you input there, that all the agreements will never see internet and daylight, meaning they are secure, and this is assured by Microsoft. So this is a trend, and I think this is a great idea to, if you are considering a new system for a PMS, DMS, or document automation, see if they have this module and see if AI could work for you this way, giving your attorneys more free time and helping you save money in the end.
That's perfect advice.
The only one thing that lawyers, please don't be afraid that you would have less hours in your bill. You can just arrange your hour, let's say, rates, because it's one of the biggest problem when we talk about using AI, that it's decrease the level of hours that I spend. But why it's always a problem for me? It's always a mystery, but in fact, it's true. And Zbyszek gives you a very good example. And I must say that I have a few projects where we create even ChatGPT-based chats for advocates that use these chats for making clothes for themselves or for drafting agreement. And it's worked so perfectly that lawyers sometimes reading the answer tell that it's like someone write it instead of me, but after 5 hours of thinking. It's exactly idea that ChatGPT just structure your own ideas, so it's still yours. You can still use it, you can still build it, but just it will be faster for you, not for client. Even can be if you want, of course. But hopefully we go to also making happy customers, not only lawyers.
Awesome. So let's come to like closure bit by bit. And if I may ask, like, final question for you, if you could give just one piece of advice, for law firm or leaders that are right now hesitant about investing into legal technology, like, it will pass, like Bitcoin, Zbyszek. What would be your advice? How would you encourage them to try new things, to innovate, to update, to upgrade?
ROI, another acronym. Did I say that I love acronyms? So
Yeah.
return on investment, that's a very well-known acronym. You may think it's a cliche. No. Every decent software producer says what is the ROI of their software suite. And this is number, they may tell you that it's 6 or 9 months. The money that you invest in a system will come back to you. Some express it in percentage. It's trust me, it's not marketing. It's not like you're buying a car and spending a lot of money and it's worth half of it after a few years. Actually, all this money is coming back to you. So you should not see this as an investment, but as a bargain. All this money will come back to you, and then it will work for you for free. So adopt the right software, the right solutions, the shoes that will fit your foot.
I like where you're going. And I'd say it's not that only it'll return to you, but it'll create a snowball effect. The culture will change, the innovation will happen. And it's not just the return on investment, but it's like the new wave of new culture that you'll also experience. Regina, what would be your 2 cents?
It will be simple, mapping your goals, your needs, and after that, what the result you in fact waiting for, and after that, checking the offers from technologies, because you would be surprised 99% that you will find someone or something that will fix all of your problems, or at least a high level of them. And in fact, technologies, it's not something that must replace you. Technology, it's something, as I like sentence of comment of my one student, it's something that can gives you opportunity to drink tea with your children, not with your laptop. So in fact, it's exactly about this. Technology must make your life easier, not worse.
Thank you very much. That's very nice. And that's a wrap for today's Crespect Talk. Thanks, Regina. Regina. Thanks, Zbyszek, for joining and for sharing your insights today. It was lovely to catch up with you. And for our viewers, if you found this discussion valuable, be sure to follow us. That's one thing. And if you have any follow-up questions, drop them in the comment section. We'll get back to them. And before we go, one more thing that you don't want to miss. If you're passionate about innovation, about legal tech, and you want to continue this conversation, let's meet up in Poznan in the Legal Market Day on 13th of March. Zbyszek, I know you'll be there, right?
Yes.
And Regina is in Warsaw, and Lingo is a nice NGO to join and learn. So thanks for joining. Continue learning, continue educating yourself about AI and all the other technologies. And thanks. See you next time.